It's late and I can't sleep. I made promises that I can't keep. Cobblestones and broken bones. Has a kingdom but it's got no home. Last night is still ringing in my head, like that lonesome whistle in the rain. Lord, I'm a fool for a lonesome train. Whoa, I'm a fool for a lonesome train.
Good morning, everyone. I'm out here in my yard to film this video. I'm going to do a video series on real estate investing, and this is just going to be one more installment. But the focus is why would anyone want to do real estate investing? Now, anyone who knows me knows I'm a firefighter, and I'm proud of being a firefighter. And just by doing this video, I'm setting myself up for all kinds of agitation. But I'm okay with that for this purpose. If I can motivate one person to get involved in real estate investing that might be on the fence, it will have been worth the agitation. I have nothing to sell. I have nothing to gain from this. I just want to maybe break down a few barriers for people who have been on the fence. I wanted to invest in real estate since I was pretty young, and I let a realtor talk me out of it one time and really regret that. So if I can help somebody overcome that reservation, it'll be worth it. So I'm sure that some of the comments below this video will be from firemen giving me some love. So we turned our first house into a rent house. And, you know, they kicked holes in the walls. They let the toilet overflow. They called us at 2 a.m. No, I'm just kidding. They didn't do any of that. They were great people lived in that house, and they were in a life situation where they needed to rent a house. They were going through a separation, and they worked things out in a year, and the wife moved out of the house that she was renting from us, and then a new really great person moved in, and our experience was not what everyone had told me it would be. They said, oh, they're gonna call you at 2 a.m. They're gonna wake you up for an overflowing toilet. And that has yet to happen, by the way. 7 years later. We really started investing in earnest about 4 years ago. We had that first house, and because it was such a success, we decided to do more of them. We never get 2 a.m. phone calls. We don't get bothered by our tenants. We do repair things in a timely fashion, take care of the house, and take care of the tenant. And I think that makes a difference, how we treat people. But don't be discouraged if that's your hang-up. In fact, when people said, oh, you're gonna get 2 a.m. phone call, I always thought, well, I'm a firefighter. We get 2 a.m. phone calls. That's what we do, and we don't get paid a ton of money to do it. It's not a huge inconvenience if we did get 2 a.m. phone calls, but we don't. So after several houses and kind of multiplying this experiment over and over, I feel like I can, with some credibility, maybe assuage some people's fears or hesitation if they're on the fence. I'm the type of person who wants to read and learn and know all the facts before I get into something. And my wife says, let's do it and we'll learn as we go. So that first tenant, when she moved in, we didn't have any of the paperwork right, and we didn't have copies. We went to the tenant's house she was moving out of to use her printer to print copies. And she understood. We didn't go to jail for it. There's nothing bad happened. And she enjoyed her year there and moved out. And when she moved out, I swear that house was better than she found it. She must have cleaned it from top to bottom. So a new tenant rented it and was moved in a week. So none of the fears I had or the horror stories I had heard came to be true. And what I found is a lot of people that had those stories, they either had never done real estate and were just perpetuating a story about 2 a.m. phone calls, or they'd had a really junky house and didn't take care of the people or the house, and of course they'd get phone calls. Our model is different. We buy houses that appeal and are affordable to middle-class people, working-class people. The houses we buy, just to give you an example, in San Antonio in 2018, after they're renovated, would would appraise between about 110,000 and 160,000 at the top end, probably 150,000 more likely. Above that price range doesn't make a lot of sense to us as a rental. It can make sense, it's just not part of our model. And below that doesn't really fit into our model. So that's been kind of our niche price range. And our finishes are probably better than most of the finishes in similar houses. We really take pride in offering a really nice home to people to move into. So I want to get rid of some of the fears and reservations people may have. And one thing that helps get rid of the fears is the first of the month when you get a check in the mail or a deposit. Now it's automatically deposited in a bank account. That's pretty good evidence to get rid of some of your fears. And you think, man, if they did this for a year, every month I got a check on the first of the month, would it be worth answering a 2 a.m. phone call every now and then? And my answer is solidly yes. I'm still waiting for my 2 a.m. phone call, but the first of the month brings the rent check. Now, this isn't a path to instant riches. It definitely is not that. This is not something that's going to make you rich overnight, but this is something that's going to give you some income, some tax benefits, significant tax benefits, and it passes on to the next generation really well. So it's an investment option. I have more tax benefits now than I can really claim and remain lendable. In other words, real estate has allowed us to have so many tax write-offs that we don't claim all of them because we won't look like we make any money and we won't be able to get loans on these properties. And lending and borrowing is part of this business. So we actually don't claim all of the write-offs that we have available to us with real estate. So that's something I'll delve more into in future videos. But this first video, I just want to kind of set the basis for what our model is and how we got started and see if that can maybe relieve some people's doubts or fears, and maybe they will want to take a chance and take a little risk, because I think there is risk. There's risk in any investment. There's risk in this one. There's risk with taking on debt, but there's also risk with not taking on debt, and there's risk with not trying something new, whatever it is. It may not be real estate investing. Maybe you want to try hang gliding. There's a risk of living to be 100 years old and not ever having done something you wanted to try. And so I think we're super risk averse, and it's good to be risk averse to a degree, but there's also a risk to not living and not doing the things that interest you. So if you want to keep bees, or if you want to grow a garden, or have chickens and some of the things we do, I think that you should do it. And real estate is just one of those things. It's not life. It's not the most important thing in life, but it is a way that we found that we enjoy to invest our money and our time, and feel like we're building something for the future, for our kids' college. And it's given us a lot of freedom. We've got a lot of freedom. It's allowed my wife to quit the job she was working in, which she loved, but required her to be away from us a lot. And she has now pushed our business to the next level with the time and commitment and energy she has. And so you can go so many places with it. You could buy a house a year for the next 20 years. You could buy a house every 6 months. You could buy one every 3 years. There's so many different paces and strategies, or you could flip houses. There's so many things to do in real estate. And so I would just encourage you to look more deeply into it if it's something you think you're interested in, and ask me any questions if I can help you with anything. And I'm going to keep creating these videos despite all the agitation I'm going to get at the firehouse, and I hope they're helpful to someone out there. Thanks for watching.
Lifetimes we left behind, strangers, promises and lies both have their dangers. Now I just can't be wrong enough, and I can't hide for long enough. So far away, but I still feel you. Lord, I'm a fool for a lonesome train. Lord, I'm a fool for a lonesome train. Try to say goodbye, but I never got your name. Whoa, I'm a fool for a lonesome train.